Welcome back to the Future Self Podcast. Welcome to Season 4, Episode 14. One of the most common bits of education I do with almost every client is the ability and skill to say no. One of the hardest things in life is to say no. Saying no feels like we're letting down other individuals. And for a lot of people, based on how they were raised and their childhood experience, that is really hard. But one thing I've been noticing more recent than not is we struggle to say no to be kind. And in return for that, we build resentment, hatred, bitterness, annoyance, or agitation more often than not towards that individual. The friendship that we once cherished because we don't say no to be a nice friend, in quotations, to be that good friend, to not let them down, you slowly start to resent that friendship because you always feel the pressure, the expectation. You're always pushed to doing things you don't want to do at the fault of your own hand because you didn't learn to say no. Now that's tricky, right? Because it's almost a little bit contradicting. We don't say no because we don't want to let them down. But then by not saying no, it annoys us because we're forced into doing what we don't want to do. So then we end up bitching about this person or this situation we were forced into doing from our own hand, from our inability to say no. And if you really think about it, how is that being a good friend and how is that a useful pathway to walk down? We're scared to say no, to let someone down. So then we don't say no and we say yes. But then in return, we end up bitching about this person because we resent ourselves or them because we're forced into doing something we don't want to do. See how that doesn't work out? Now, one of the biggest things I learnt as a coach and as someone that wants the best for people is learning the skill to upset someone's emotions in the moment, to gain respect in the long term, a better outcome in the long term, or a more intense care in the long term. Respecting someone can come from knowing they have an opinion, they stand strong on their views, and they're going to tell it to you straight. They're not going to bullshit about it. Now, on the surface, there are these people that say yes to everything and it seems like everyone loves them, but subconsciously they probably don't. Yes, they might be nicer to them and all these aspects that seem like they like them more, but they probably subconsciously like you more when you learn to say no because they respect you. Now, respect and being liked don't actually go hand in hand. And that's a really tricky aspect because we all want to be liked. It's a human need to feel wanted and that we're contributing and we're adding to another human. Respect doesn't always reflect that, but respect is a stronger and more intense attribute to gain from individuals. Learning to say no can feel so awkward, so cruel in the moment, and just this really disgusting, scary thing to do. But I promise you, it will end up being better for you long term. If someone only likes you because you're always available and saying yes, and that's not something internally you want, you have to take yourself out of that. They don't like you for you, they like you for what you allow. You got to think of that for a second. They're not actually liking you for you because you're not being true to who you are. You're being someone that they want you to be, and that's why they like you. So if you say no and you lose that friendship, in reality, what's the loss? Because you're not losing someone that likes you for you.